It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how we can be persistent in some areas in our lives and can't be persistent in others. It's a man in here today, and the reason why you sitting beside her because you was persistent. She thought you was goofy and whack, and she didn't take your number the first time. Now y'all gonna be fake. Now, visitors, we got fake folks in here. She didn't take your number the first time. You trying to holler, you all smooth, like, yo, what's up? You know, what's up? What you trying to do? She was like, nothing. But you didn't give up. Why? Because it was something that you wanted. I'm amazed those of us who are persistent to go back to school and we study in our 40s and 50s to get a degree. I'm amazed by those of us who go after things in the world, but sometimes when it comes to our dreams and our hopes, we put them on the back burner. What happens to make people give up the fight? What happened to you? What happened? Who bewitched you? Who bamboozled you? Who fooled you? What happened in your life to cause you not to be as persistent as you used to be? You started the business, but you gave up. You went back to school, but you turned your book. Say, what happened to cause you to be so lax now, to be relaxed, to hide in your turtle shell? What causes people not to be persistent? Let me help you out. Sometimes I'm not persistent, Pastor Gross, because of my past failures. Let me say it again. I'm not persistent because of my past failures. And if you ever failed in a particular area, it's hard to start over again in that same area. All right, I don't know who I'm talking to this morning. If you ever failed in this area, I'll start in another area, but it's hard to start in the same area that I experienced failure before. But God is so crazy like this. God will tell you to start over in the same area with the same stuff, but He's going to do something different. God, I wish I could talk to somebody here. God said, I'm not giving you another assignment. I'm telling you, do it over again, but this time don't quit until you see what I promised you. Oh, God, I feel like preaching. God said, don't quit until you see what I promised you. If you don't see what I promised you, it's not the time to quit, but you hang on in there till the manifestation of what God revelation comes to pass. But past failures will cause you to quit. The Bible says in the book of Luke, the 5th chapter, the disciples were at the lake of Gennesaret and they were washing their nets. In the middle of the day, Russell, these were professional fishermen. They had washed their nets, and Jesus came to them and He said, why have you given up? He said, Master, we've toiled all night long and didn't take anything. Because of my past failures, it will cause me not to be persistent. And Jesus tells them, get in the same boat, go to the same lake with the same nets, do the same thing you just got finished doing, but this time I'm giving you my blessings. I come to talk to 27 people in here. God told me to tell you, restart the dream, restart the vision, restart what He told you to do. I know you failed the first time, but God said in this season, if you started over again, I'll bless you like I've never blessed you before. Past failures will cause us not to be persistent. What else causes me not to be persistent? Oftentimes, rejection will cause you not to be persistent. Let me go back to my original analogy because I see y'all carnal, y'all read your Bible, so let me help you out. You pursued her, and she kept on rejecting you. Enough rejection will cause you not to go after it anymore. But every now and then, you meet that crazy brother. It's borderline stalkerish. It's okay to laugh. It's bored, but you don't really kind of feel like is he persistent? Is he a stalker? I'm not quite sure. But something to come kind of tell you maybe I'll go out with him, not because I necessarily like him, but because he's persistent. And see, some of y'all in here, the reason why you stop being persistent, because you have been rejected. But let me tell you something. The rejection of men is not the rejection of God. God, I wish I would catch it in your spirit. Just because man rejected you, it doesn't mean God has forgotten about you. Sometimes what causes me not to be persistent is obstacles and opposition. If you are pursuing anything and there are no obstacles or oppositions, you are pursuing the wrong thing. Somebody should tweet that real quick. If hashtag it, if you are pursuing anything, and there are no obstacles and oppositions, you are pursuing the wrong thing. Because anything worth pursuing, the enemy always puts up obstacles. I'm sorry, I preached this to the wrong church this morning. I said anything that's worth pursuing, the enemy always puts up obstacles. But the question I pose this morning is, how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to go through every obstacle and every opposition that the enemy puts up? Because what you're pursuing, you believe is worth the price you got to pay. Who are the 27 people I'm talking to this morning? Said, Pastor, I'm experiencing obstacles and oppositions, but I made up in my mind this morning it's worth the pain, it's worth the ridicule, it's worth the pressure, it's worth the embarrassment, it's worth having people talk about me. Because if you're doing anything that's not worth people talking about, you ain't doing nothing. If you are doing something that can't be criticized, then you're not doing anything that's worth anything. But the moment people talk about it, and the moment people put roadblocks up, and the moment people try to discourage you, you got to step back and say, I must be on the right track. Because the devil wouldn't be fighting me this hard if it wasn't worth anything. Oh, God, I need to preach to somebody here that it seems like every time you are in pursuit of something, the enemy throws all kind of obstacles in your way. Look at your name and tell them, I know that's right. 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter, today is our case study. Story about David, who's now the king of Israel. David had been through a whole lot of battles, whole lot of loss, whole lot of opposition. He had his hopes and his dreams dashed. And now finally God gives him something to call his own. God gives him a piece of heaven. God gives him peace on earth. God gives him the thing he's been praying about. God gives him a Ziklag. Let me explain it to you. Ziklag was a place that was set aside where David could escape his enemies. Ziklag was a place set aside that God has specially made for David, and no matter what happened in David's life, he could always run to his Ziklag. I'm going somewhere with this. No matter what David had opposing him, he could always go through his Ziklag. Ziklag was his refuge. Ziklag was his safe place. Ziklag was the place after all of his labor and toils and fight. What do you do when God gives you your Ziklag? A place of comfort, place of peace. Ziklag is when you say to yourself, I've arrived. No more troubles, no more trials, no more tribulations. Ziklag is the place that you ought to be able to sit down and be comfortable. Ziklag is the place where you ought to be able to just to exhale for a minute. Ziklag is the place where you go that all hell ain't breaking loose. Have you ever been to a Ziklag, a comfortable place? Bible says that God gives David his Ziklag bucket. And David goes out to help the Philistines fight. Let me tell you the problem in the text. The Philistines were David's enemy. But David got to a place that he said, I'm going to help them even though they did me wrong. But sometimes helping people that did you wrong would backfire on you, because there are some people who have no good intentions for you. Oh, God, I lost a shouting church this morning. There are some people, no matter how good you do to them, they will never do good to you. There are some people you can bend over backwards and give them the world, and they still tell you it ain't good enough. There are some people, no matter what you do, they still turn around and spit in your face. There are some people you just can't help. I know y'all want to hear this on a Sunday morning, but there are some people you just can't help. The Philistines were his enemy. David's helping the Philistines. Let me move on through this Sunday school lesson. He's helping the Philistines. David comes back to Ziklag. Mother Eloise in Ziklag is on fire. Everything he worked so hard for is gone. He looks around and all he sees a pile of ashes of what used to be. He walks through and the stench of all of his stuff is burned. Not only is Ziklag burned, but his children are gone. His wives are gone. The village has nothing that used to be what it was. Everything is gone. And David is standing in the middle of what used to be. Oh, God, this ain't for everybody in here, but I need to talk to a couple of people that every now and then in your life, and you have experience standing in the middle of what used to be. You're standing in the middle of what you had hopes for. You're standing in the middle of what you had dreams for. What do you do when your zigzag's on fire? What do you do when everything you prayed for, believed for, hoped for, trusted for, you gave your life to this. You gave your children had a safe place and your family had a safe. What do you do when you put all your eggs in this basket and now the basket's on fire? What do you do when your zigzag is burned to the ground and all you have left are a pile of ashes? The pain that's in David's heart, he walks through Ziklag and all he sees is destruction. The Bible says David is standing there in the middle of a pile of rubbish. And to add insult to injury, not only did he lose his stuff, but the people that were with him lost their stuff. See, I don't mind losing my stuff, but sometimes I'm very responsible because you trusted me with it and that we both lost our stuff. What do you do? How do you get the power of persistence when there's nothing left? Oh, God, I feel the Holy Ghost. How, Pastor, you want me to be persistent? And there's nothing, ain't nothing here, ain't nothing work here. I don't even like them. They don't like me. Can't stand my kids. I can't wait till they get 18 and get out. You want me to pursue this? Ain't nothing there, Pastor. Don't nobody support my store. I'm in the black. I came to 40. We in the red, Pastor. We got checks bouncing, and you still, what? Pastor, I can't go back to school. I can't even afford to feed my family. How are you persistent in a pile of ashes? How, God, are you serious? You want me to go after what? Ain't nothing there. My hopes are gone. My dreams are gone. But I come here just serve as a beacon of hope to tell you how to get the power of being persistent. Can I tell you? Can I help you out real quick? Can I just help you? I promise I'm going to help you out. It's in verse, look at verse 6. 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter. 1 Samuel 30, look at verse 6. The Bible says, and David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of killing him, because the people were sad that they lost their stuff. If you're ever going to get the power of persistence, the first thing you must realize that you cannot be persuaded by people. Let me say it again. You cannot be persuaded by people, because people will come to you. The same people who told you how great you were yesterday will come and tell you, crucify you tomorrow. The same people that laughed in your face will stab you in your back tomorrow. The same people who said how wonderful you were will cuss you out tomorrow. And if you base your opinion upon the opinions of people, you will lose your everlasting mind. People are crazy. People are fickle. People are two-faced. People are backstabbers. They smile in your face, but all the time, people are not consistent. And if you build your opinion based upon people, you'll lose your mind. Oh, God, I feel like putting a quarter in the meter and park right there. So you cannot be persuaded by people. If you keep on listening to what people's opinion, you're going to lose your very existence. If you keep on listening to people's opinion, you're going to lose your way. And I'm amazed because the most opinionated people are people that ain't doing nothing. You got an opinion about me and my boo. You ain't even got a boo. And the boo you got, you can't keep. You got an opinion about me and my money with your broke self. You got an opinion about me and my kids with your child baby kids. The devil is a liar. The most opinionated people are people that ain't doing nothing. If your advice was so good, how come it ain't working for you? The devil is a liar. You cannot be persuaded by the opinions of people, because people's opinion doesn't matter. You got to pursue and go for what you know. Do me a favor, shake your neighbor's hand and tell them, don't be persuaded. The people, the same people that follow David, the same people that made him the king, the 400 crazy men that were in the cave of ability, the same people who told David, you the greatest thing in the world, now they're talking about let's kill him. Funny thing in the text, they didn't tell David to his face they're going to kill him. Because what people do, They get in a little circle. What you think about it? I don't know. Girl, I should never listen to her in the first place. I do something wrong. Something told me I shouldn't have done it. Something told me we shouldn't have listened. Ain't nobody tell you nothing. You just change your opinion because you see my circumstance. But you don't understand that God is about to turn my circumstance. So if you can't ride with me on the rough times, you can't ride with me in the smooth times. Don't be persuaded by people. Oh, look at your neighbor and say, don't let people persuade you. They will talk you out your dreams. They will talk you out your hope. They will talk you out of your vision. And if you're not careful, they'll talk you out of the very thing that God told you. They said they spake of stoning Dave. I like the text. I'll give me 2 minutes. If I can just look into the text.